They say that the markets have already been sniffing out a Republican win in the House and maybe even in the Senate. You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, there are other reasons for the market rally, but certainly that could very well be one of them. What we're seeing just in terms of the broad-based polling is that, Republicans are coming home, so to speak. The generic ballot has been improving for Republicans over the last few weeks. Some of the Senate candidates in key battleground Senate races, that polling has been improving for Republicans. But, Joe, you point out, I think, something that's really important and something we're trying to impart upon our clients here at PIMCO is it's really the House that matters. The distinction between a Republican House and a Republican House and Senate are just not that much. Republicans, if they control the House, they'll still be able to obstruct. They'll still be able to provide oversight. All of those things the market are going to like. So that's really should be the focus for investors, not necessarily the direction of the Senate. That would just sort of be the cherry on the top. But it's really the House that's going to matter from a market's perspective.
Kind of sad, Libby, that a market would rally on just one party preventing the other party from doing what it wants to do, isn't it?
Well, the market's like gridlock, Joe. I mean, every year after the midterm since like 1932, the market has rallied. So, markets like split power. They don't necessarily like unified power. They like the gridlock. So it might be a testament of sort of where we are politically today, but the adage is sort of borne true over the course of decades.
Has PIMCO tried to like other firms, tried to put together like a portfolio, a Democrat portfolio, a Republican portfolio, if they were to win the House?
We don't necessarily do that. I mean, we're obviously macro investors, so sort of the political whims, particularly as it relates to fiscal policy, are key inputs into our investment process. But we are long-term investors, fortunately, so we have the benefit of investing for the long term. But again, I mean, who controls Washington for sure is an important input, but we don't necessarily have a bespoke, partisan portfolio necessarily.
So you wouldn't buy, I mean, it's as simple as buying renewables on one side or buying hydrocarbon producers on the other side. Defense stock seems like they'd be something that we actually pointed that out, that in the past you'd think that would be a Republican play, defense stocks, but the Democrats seem more strident on continuing, I don't know if it's a blank check, but continuing full support for the war in Ukraine. So suddenly Democrats might actually be more cautious. So it's
some of these sort of partisan divisions are sort of breaking down. No, I think that's right, Joe. I mean, there are three sort of key sectors that will likely do well under either of the most likely scenarios, either a Republican House or a Republican Congress. And those are what you just mentioned: energy, defense, and then financial services, just in terms of the oversight that Republicans are likely to administer over regulators like the SEC and the CFPB and the FTC, sort of throwing sand in the gears, if you will, in terms of the regulatory machinations. And then energy is one area where you could actually see some compromise. Again, we were talking about how the market likes gridlock. There are some areas, in terms of kind of issue areas where there is overlap between Republicans and moderate Democrats. Energy permitting reform is one of those. So you could see something like that gain traction in a Republican Congress and get signed into law by President Biden. So there are gridlock will likely be kind of rule of the day, but there are areas of potential compromise.